Hey YouTube, it's your girl Duchess back with part 2 of Abducted at an HBCU, a black girl missing, the conclusion. Thank you for coming back. Let's get into the rest of this movie. So Shannon wakes up and she's like, "What do you want from me? Like, what do you want? What are your plans for me?" He's like, "Oh, I got big plans for you. Pretty girl like you gonna make a lot of money. Yeah, y'all like relationships, but ain't no money in relationships. You gonna make some money for me. So go ahead and eat up. I know you miss Thanksgiving, but I'm a family man. I come from a big family, so I want you to have some food." He brought her a turkey sandwich with some cranberry sauce or something. Meanwhile, Miss Ella is calling around to her professors and, like asking when was the last time she was in class. Did she turn in her assignment? So she's putting it together that something is wrong. And this is day 4 of her missing. Lester the molester is in the trailer with Shannon. And, he's doing push-ups. She's asleep on the bed. So she wakes up and she's got on this like satiny kind of nightgown, and she's groggy, but she's completely aware of where she is and what's happening and everything that's going on. So he starts talking to her and tell her it's time to get her ready to start making some money. He's like, "You like that number that we put on you? You know how you feeling that and that kind of thing." He comes closer to her, and he's like, "Yeah, it's time to get you ready. Take your clothes off." And she, of course, she's cowering and doesn't really want to. He make her take her clothes off, and he's standing over her and he pulls his clothes off. They spare us the details. We're at the next scene, and I appreciate being spared the details. So Miss Ella is growing increasingly concerned. She speaks with the dean. The dean is unbothered by her being missing. Low income students, and she's like, "Who said anything about low income?" "Well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't assume." "Well, maybe it's a problem at home, or maybe it's something like, maybe she just didn't transition well." Like, the dean is totally unbothered that this girl is missing, and Miss Ella is very concerned. So she's stressing to her. She was a straight A student, and the dean is like, "Grades don't matter." So that was a dead end. Miss Ella can't get her address because it's against privacy policy, like the law, really. They have to have the student's permission to release that to her. She go and see one of the professors, and the professor is like, "Listen, I got 3 classes this semester. I can't notice when a student is missing." She made her choice. If she was cared about her education, she would be here. And she's like, "Well, maybe it's not of her own will. Something could have happened to her, And he's like, "I don't have time for that. She should be here. I'm worried about the students that are here in class that want to learn. If they're not here, I don't care." And so Miss Ella is like, just because you don't see her as visible or valuable doesn't mean she's expendable. Like, we have to care more about our students. So she storms off from him, child, and I don't blame her. And now she in a full-blown argument with the provost, who is also her boyfriend. But this teacher has filed a complaint against her, and he has to address it. And she is over it because they have a student missing and nobody cares. And she's like, "I don't care nothing about him just because he's tenure and he been here 30 years. He's a pompous, arrogant jack. You know what?" So they're going at it, but he understands that he don't want to look like the bad guy. So he's like, "Listen, I know I came from a privileged life, but that does not mean that I'm not empathetic. So here's her address." So he writes down the address and he's like, "Go find her. I mean, if we're gonna get fired, we might as well do it together." She's thankful though and relieved, and baby, she is headed to this baby's home. So she makes it to the address, but it's a car shop, like it's a car mechanic spot, and she meets this gentleman who owns it, who lets her know that Shannon does live there and shows her to the room. He said that when he bought the place, her and her dad was living there. The dad had a mental break, and he had to put him out, but Shannon still lives there. She helps him with the cars, and in turn he teaches her about the business. She's a very smart girl, but he hadn't seen her in about a week. So he shows her to her room, and she's kind of made the room all her own. Like, there's lights and stuff in the room. She has positive quotes on the wall. Miss Ellen is getting another glimpse of Shannon's world, and it's just fueling her to want to find her. She's convinced that something has happened to her. He also has a taser. He said he had bought that for her, you know, because it's a dangerous world and she's out there on her own. And he tells her to be careful. Miss Ella's like, listen, I carried an M37. I can handle this taser, because I forgot to mention that she is an ex-Marine. Meanwhile, the investigator reporter person is taking pictures. Shannon is going through it. You know, they come in and Lester comes in and wake her up. He's like, oh, you stink. Drags her out of the bed. Come here. She still got the same clothes on and stuff that she had on when they had their moment. And drags her out to the backyard. She's screaming, trying to get away from him. The other guy comes and help him handle her. And he basically just holds her down like a dog. Like, with a water hose, just spraying her. She's out there half naked with this gown on. It's so degrading. Anyway, they finish up with her. Miss Ella is having a hard time. She's running into dead end after dead end. No one cares about these girls. She goes to the campus police. The campus police is like, listen, unless you got any evidence of foul play, it's nothing I can do. Like, I can put out a, you know, some type of special whatever about her, but it's just most likely gonna look like she's a dropout. She does call to get her put on the missing persons report. It has been over 48 hours, so she is able to place a missing persons report. Her and her guy is kind of talking about the statistics of it all, and brings a point in about how the news is a business and they really just are reporting what sells. It's not, you know, a color thing. It's just the interest and where the money is. Meanwhile, the guy, the handler, is like, when are these girls gonna start turning a buck? You know, he's like, when they ready. And if they don't be ready, we'll bury them like we do the rest of them. So Miss Ellen is making her way around to some more of Shannon's classes. And she finds her way in the poetry club that Shannon had joined, and talks to her friend, the one friend that she had on campus. That friend tells her that she's like, oh, she's come up missing, huh? And Miss Ellen's like, yeah, we haven't seen her, and you know, she hasn't been in class in like a week. And so she tells her about the guy who comes on campus buying the girls food. You know, they call him King Food or King Cuisine because his license plate on his car has King something. She doesn't know his name. She gives her as best the description that she can. So Miss Ella's like, how did he escape you? Like, how did you escape him? She said, I'm not really into men like that. Plus, he always creeped me out. Miss Ella wants to know, how does she find him? And she said, you really can't. He just shows up. He'll show up. Meanwhile, King Cuisine has Shannon in the back of a van picking out clothes. Something sexy, something hot, because it's time for her to get to work. He notices the reporter lady, the investigator lady, like walking by. And so he's like, you new around here? And she said, yeah, I'm just kind of new to the neighborhood, and keeps it moving. He comes to his friend, I don't know if they're friends, but he goes up to the handler and tells the handler, listen, it's time for us to move. You know, this place is getting a little too friendly. Meanwhile, she's in her trailer, like developing her pictures, putting together like her, I guess, like all of her photographs to do whatever work she's planning on doing. I'm just hoping that they don't discover her evidence in this trailer, you know? Like, I don't know why this lady would be that close to all the crime and have that as her workplace. People don't be thinking. It is a movie, though. Let me bring myself back down a notch. Back to this review. So, King Cuisine tells the handler to start, like, get a van or whatever so they can get ready to start transporting the quote-unquote inventory. But I also need you to take care of that situation first. And he's like, consider it done. I don't really know what the situation is. He goes to get Shannon and tell her to get up, get dressed. Here, take your vitamins. She don't want to take the medicine, of course, but he's like, okay, it suits you. Like, it'll help you through the long haul for tonight. They get to their place and he tells her, listen, I handpicked your first. Just listen to him and he'll tell you what he like. So, of course, it's hours later when the man finishes with her. And he's waiting outside. He's been waiting outside the trailer the whole time. She come out. Of course, she's visibly shaking and that sort of a thing. He makes her take pictures. He forgot to do it before she went in there. Marketing, of course. And the next morning they wake up. He's giving her her cocktail. It's like, powder. So I don't know if it's a substance. He's giving her her cocktail and he's talking to her, just basically degrading her mind play. And he tells her, we got 3 more days together and our love story ends. Congratulations, you've been sold. It's day 9. In the next scene, it's nighttime. We're on the college campus. The food trucks are out. The vibe is going. The music is popping. And King for You, that's what's on his license plate, is working his magic, talking to the girls, buying them food, that sort of thing. But Miss Ella walks up and she noticed the license plate and she sees him. Baby, she don't waste no time. Hello, how are you? Are you an exchange student? I haven't seen you around here. He's like, no. I'm just a guy who, takes care of the students. She said, oh, you may know one of my students. He's like, who are you? She said, I'm Miss Ellen, the advisor. He's like, oh. She said, you know one of my students? Shannon Tomlin? He's like, nah, what you doing out here anyway, auntie? You trying to catch you one of these little young students or something? She's like, very funny. Are you sure you don't know her? Like I said, I don't know no Shannon advisor. Baby, it's the next morning and she's at the campus police chief door with a picture of him in her phone. This guy is a threat to our campus. So she gives him his license plate number and he runs a check between APD, comes back with his legal name and some of his arrests and his criminal history. And she's like, can you give me an address or a phone number or something? He's like, I already gave you too much, more than you need to know. Just then, the phone rings. It's something for him to take care of. So he has to leave. He'll be right back. And that's her opportunity to get in his computer. She slide right over and take a screenshot. Next thing you know, it's nighttime. And she done pulled up to the compound. She get out the car. She's tiptoeing up there. And the investigative reporter person is like, wait, that's too dangerous. Don't you go down there. I can help you. Come with me and come on before they see you. So the lady explains to her that she works with law enforcement. She's not some vigilante person. They take surveillance pictures, places they like to hang out. She's like, well, why do you need all of that info? She said, because girls, we have a hard time convincing them to get out. She shows her the information that she has. She gives her a picture of Shannon, and the lady has a picture of Shannon in her B-roll. So Shannon is there. She's confirmed that. And the lady asked her, the question for you is, how far are you willing to go to help out? So the surveillance lady makes it back to her trailer, and as soon as she comes in, everything in it is destroyed, and they waiting on her. Beat her down, y'all. So it's the next morning, and Ellen and the provost are sitting on campus. Well, he kind of walks up as she's just kind of sitting there, keeping watch on the girls, just contemplating, worrying about Shannon. He apologizes to her for the fight they got into last night, the argument they got into over this whole Shannon thing. And, she's sorry that they had it, that they had an argument too. And they're just kind of chatting. He wants her to go to this dinner tonight with him. It's a pretty big dinner, and he don't want to be the only one without a significant other. So he needs her to come out of this secret relationship thing that they have going on. And he will do what he can to kind of change the rules on how they check up on students, especially the ones who live off campus. She's interrupted by a phone call. It's the reporter person letting her know that she's in the hospital, and so she runs off to see her. She let her know that they destroyed everything, and they're moving everything, packing it all up. So Ellen runs off. She's like, it's okay, I'll take care of it. So she runs off in a hurry. So it's nighttime, and Ellen is on a stakeout. She is also in her camouflage gear, in her BDUs, battle ready uniform, for y'all that are not military. She's in full battle rattle camouflage, watching. She sent dude her location. It looks like she ain't gonna be at that dinner tonight either, but the handler comes up and catches her, like, hey, what's up? What, you looking for something? She convinces him that she's there to buy some little fun, like she like girls too. She talked to King. What's up? I got good money. He told her, all right, number 32, and you got 30 minutes. So the girl in number 2 is a girl named, I'm sorry, number 32 is a girl named Pinky, who is completely, just overworked. Let me just put it that way. She doesn't know who Shannon is. Well, she does know who Shannon is, but Shannon has already left. So she's trying to get her out of there, and the girl is like, no, no, no. Don't take me. Don't take me. Don't take me. Don't take me. The girl starts screaming, don't take me, don't take me. Alerts the man. The man come in like, where you going? What you trying to do? They get into a tussle. He trying to choke her out, and she tased him. Tased him twice. She get out. She called the police, telling them that she's trying to report a kidnapping at the mobile homes and give the address. Tell them the police come right away. She goes into another trailer, like she's going to trailer to find Shannon. The guy, King, is on her trail. He didn't came into the trailer that the number 32 and see the dude like strung out. So he's probably right behind her. She has found Shannon though. They embrace and Shannon is telling her that she's so sorry, and she's like, no, 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 don't apologize, don't apologize. And here comes King with his gun out. And she's like, I'm not afraid of you. You ain't nothing but old punk. Man, you done got yourself in trouble now, auntie. And she's like, well, lucky for you, I done had a hell of a week, and I done had 2 cups of coffee. Coffee make her aggressive. And I'm a Marine. So they go at it, honey. They go at it, and she do some kind of move that almost break his arm or whatever. Like she basically get the ups on him and get the gun from him. He's advancing her and she shoots him. So he ain't dead though. She's like, come on, let's go. And Shannon get her lick back, at least one lick back, before she go and let him know what her name is. And when they come out, the police are there, and the helicopters and that sort of a thing. So her guy is, Miss Ella's guy is right there with her. He's so glad that she's safe. It's the next morning or a couple of days later, whatever the day. It's daytime. They're back on campus. Shannon is a survivor. She's doing poetry. She's still a student. Of course, her and Miss Ella are closer, and she's very appreciative of her saving her. Miss Ella is now engaged. This was a good movie. I think it's worth watching. 1, to support Garcia Bavo and what she's trying to do. And 2, just to kind of get some insight into how so many of these girls come up missing, and, you know, what you may be able to do in your own community to kind of prevent this, you know. I wouldn't say prevent it, but at least it's a way to be more proactive on the problem when you have a little bit of background of at least one type of scenario that these girls are coming up missing. So I thought it was pretty good. I hope you enjoyed the review, the recap, and give it some support, and, you know, check it out. At least give it your view, and I appreciate your view to my channel as well. It's your girl Duchess, bringing you the content, and so appreciative of your support. Hop down in the comments and let me know what you think. What do you think about this type of content? Is this something you guys want to see more of? Y'all know I'm gonna keep doing it until you tell me to stop it. I appreciate you guys. I'm out.